Hare Krishna devotees, can you hear me? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, we can hear you, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. So today which chapter?
Chapter 8.
In my visuals. And what's the name of the chapter?
Attaining the Supreme, Mataji.
Attaining the Supreme.
Thank you so much. And how many questions did Arjuna ask Krishna?
8 questions. 8 questions.
And very nice, very good. And how many verses are there?
For 28.
Yesterday you told correctly. Perfect. Thank you so much. And also, how many these questions? 8 questions. In how many verses did Arjuna ask?
Two verses, first and second.
2 questions.
Superb. And how out of which 7 questions he answers in which verses?
First itself.
Hare, you all are
First two. First two.
First two, not first two, answers in 3 and 4.
Yes.
Hare Krishna. I'm so impressed. All are becoming stalwarts only. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. So before we start off, let's pay our obeisances. We'll start with Mangalacharan. Hare Krishna. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Ajnanatimurandasya. Jnananjalachalakaya. Chakshuru Militam Yena. Tasmai Shri Guruve Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamaya Dadati Swapadatikam. He Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivachati Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna, all of you. Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama
Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So, just a very quick recap of what we saw, before which let's pay our obeisances to Shri Radha Govinda. So section, as we already saw, first 4 questions are taken care, and then Krishna is answering them, and also remembering Krishna at the time of death, Antakali, so 8.5 to 8.8, right? So Krishna gives 2 views, we'll see that, and we already saw. 9 to 13, we are talking about mixed bhakti, that is Mishra bhakti, right? Which means mixed devotion, remembering Krishna through mixture, which is fine. And then today onwards, today we're going to see 18.14 to 16. What do you mean by pure devotional service? And 17 to 22, a detailed continuation of 7.4 and 5 about his material and spiritual energies and what is great about that. And 2.3 to 2.8, the supremacy of devotion service, right? And attaining the supreme. I always, the journey, the destination is very important, but the journey is as much important, because most of us will remember the journey. Destination happens in a moment, right? But the journey is what you relish. So let's see. So Arjuna answers various questions, and the questions are because of the 7.29 and 7.30. Quickly, what are the questions? So he asks, who is Brahman? And in this context, Brahman refers to our soul, which is Jiva, indestructible and eternal. He asks about Adi Atma, right? So we have seen the controller of the body, right? It talks about the nature of the soul, the nature of Jiva. So that's the Adi Atma, karma, and karma. We are talking about fruitive activities, the body which we get. I should be asking you also. Someone define karma in this context. How does he define karma? Hare Krishna, you all can unmute and talk. Are you all muted? Just 1 second. Is it so tough? Okay, I'll go ahead. So karma means actions that lead to the material body, right? Whatever you have got, the material body.
Development of the material body.
So, you go and purchase a car like that, you go and purchase your own body. With what amount? Not with credit balance or credit card, but with your karma balance, right? So that is what is material body purchase. So Adi Buddha is the material nature, right? So it's the material manifestation. So that is Adi Buddha. Adi Deva, we are going to see the visuals in the 11th chapter, but in one line, this means supreme demigods, right? So the universal form, including all. Supreme demigod means he's referring to all the devatas, right? And Yadi Yagna. Who are the two Yagna heroes of the universe?
Indra, Vishnu.
Who's the superhero?
Krishna.
Yes, so Krishna is the superhero, and he is called Paramatma. And where does he stay?
Goloka.
Paramatma. Krishna resides in Goloka. Where does Paramatma reside?
Everywhere.
Everyone's
The heart
of the living entity.
In the heart. Everywhere? No. God resides everywhere is general statement, but we are talking about Bhagavad Gita. Thank you so much, Mataji. Specific. He resides in the heart. That's the residing place, in the hearts of all. How to remember Krishna at the time of death? Practice remembering throughout, right? So we already saw all this, and we already saw Bharat Maharaj story. And, moving on, we are talking about mixed bhakti, right? That's called Yoga Mishra Bhakti, and you can practice this. That is good enough. So Krishna is giving so much options, right? You practice Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Then we saw the various qualities of Krishna. And we also talk about how you can focus your mind and heart, and the various stages of Yoga Mishra Bhakti. Eventually, if the object is Krishna and the objective is also Krishna, you will also reach Krishna, is what is explained. Right? And now we are going to talk about pure devotional service, remembering Krishna through bhakti, constantly engaging in devotional service. One who undeviatingly remembers Krishna easily attains the Lord's abode far from this miserable world. Does anyone know the shloka by heart? 8.14? Anyone knows by heart? No. Okay. So I'll chant Hare Krishna. And anyone, whoever wants to read the English text, please raise your hand and you'll take that. Hare Krishna. Ananya cheta satatam yomam sparati nityasaha tasyaham sulabham partha nityayuktasya yoginah. Hare Krishna. Yeah, please, anyone read this one?
Can I read Mataji? Shyam Prasad here.
Yeah, please go ahead, Prabhu.
For one who always remembers me without deviation, I am easy to attain. O son of Pritha, because of his constant engagement in devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Next one, Nitya Mataji, you can read. Hare Krishna. So, so what does he say for the one? Okay, so Ananya Cheta, that means what? All the time, Satatam, all the time, Ananya Cheta, without any deviation, like completely focused, right? So someone who does that, his smarati, his memory, right? His remembrance is sure. It's Nitya, it's all the time, right? He is completely focused. And he is constantly engaging. Nitya Yukta. So just see Nitya, how many times it comes. How many times it comes. Yoga, Yukta and all, like multiple repetitions. Why? I always tell in Sanskrit, multiple repetitions generally are not that common. But here they are stressing the same point. Right? So that is what they are talking about. So Ananya Cheta Satatam Yomam Sparati Nityasya Tashyaham Sulabham Partha Nitya Yuktasya Yoginah. So this is a pure devotee, right? And can anyone give me examples of such a devotee?
Prahlada.
Superb. Yes, Samo. Prahlad. Narada. Okay. Excellent. That's also very good. Narada. Samo. Anybody else?
Mirabai.
Hare Krishna. Mirabai is not quoted too much in Bhagavatam, but from our understanding of Mirabai, yes, we can categorize her. Hare Krishna. Yes, Prabhu, I didn't hear your voice. It's so feeble.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu.
Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yes, that's an amazing example. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Anybody else? We'll see some more. Okay. So we're going to see that only journey today. Hare Krishna, 8.15. Hare. Mam upetyat punarjanma tukkaleham ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmana samsiddhim paramam gataha. Hare Krishna, yes, Mataji, you can read. Yeah, please go ahead and read, Prabhu.
After attaining me, the great souls who are yogis in devotion never return to this temporary world, which is full of miseries because they have attained the highest perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So this is like, when we are entering LKG, mommy will say this is the most important thing. Most important thing, study well. Okay. First standard, the most important stage, the most crucial stage. 10th standard, we'll do most important stage. But after 10th standard, if you tell Ma, you told that first standard is the most important stage, I don't want to go to 11th standard, I will go to first standard. How does it sound? It sounds very foolish, right? And it sounds very childish also. So this is exactly what it is. What he's saying is this is a temporary abode, right? So once you, this is like a temporary place, like a hostel or a temporary boarding, okay? Or like your LKG nursery class. So once you go to higher classes, which is the highest, which is spiritual abode, you don't come back here because there is Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadi. There are enough people to come and take care of this world. But don't get so obsessed and possessive and stick to this world, telling this is my house, this is my world, and I will sit here. Because that is not what you're supposed to do. That is not what you're meant to be. We've had that greed, and that's why we have been outcasted here, right? We've been brought down here. But if we continue to be clinging on to our material interests, we will continue to stay here. But that's not the purpose of what it's like permanently staying in first standard, which it's like a student who keeps failing all the time, right? So we don't want that. We want like super double promotion and go to Goloka Vrindavan. So that is what he's saying. So once you do that, you will attain me, and that is permanent. So this is where Vishnu Dudas come, and this is how they carry. So I told you all the travel plan, and this is how the flight will be to go. And this is the same chariot which carried Prahlad as well. 8.16 Abrahma Bhutvana Lokaha Punar Avarti Norjuna Mamupatyate Kaunteya Punar Janmana Vidyate. Hare Krishna.
From the highest planet in the material world down to the lowest, all are places of misery, wherein repeated birth and death takes place. But one who attains to my abode, O son of Kunti, never takes birth again. Hare Krishna.
He's giving this guarantee, right? You don't have to fight. Now heaven, see, earth, all of us are very clear, right? Earth, everything which is happening, some war, bio war, we are not short of names. But heaven, wow, no, it's not wow. Heaven is also, a place of fights. That is why you'll see Indra constantly leading, and we have, Skanda, who is, Kartikeya, son of Shiva. He is the commander-in-chief of the military rule among the Devatas. So this is a constant fight which is going on, right? And we also have seen every avatar which has taken, right? There is a fight, even for the nectar, for eternity, everything there is a nectar. For everything there is this constant fight which goes on between the heaven and the asuras, right? So it goes on. And hell, what to talk about, right? The third canto, the last chapter, the 26th, in the last chapter, you're going to talk about the hellish conditions, right? So you will get to know about the various hells and various punishments which are allotted in the hell. So, you can, so that's clearly explained there. So this is pure bhakti. So you're talking about unalloyed bhakti, which means very pure, like, the kajal in the eye, right? So they keep the kajal of love, prema, for Krishna. And what is the speciality of unalloyed bhakti is they are the only thing everything they do, everything though they appear. Example is even Janaka Maharaj, which we read in Bhagavad Gita. He has unalloyed bhakti. Even if he does work externally, he appears like a karmic man, but internally he is very different because he is situated in Krishna conscious. So many people will tell why Arjuna, during war and all, he never chanted Krishna's name. No, he's got so much of bhakti that he can't think of anything other than Krishna. So what to talk about talking about chanting, right? And you take Haridas Thakur, who had come in during Chaitanya Charitamrita, he used to chant for 20 hours, right? 3 lakh names of Harinam. Challenged chanting for 1.5 hours. So can you see, so this is the nature. And Mohandas Prabhu has already started putting the attendance link. I request each one of you to please spend a minute in that. 8.17 to 22, comparing the material world and spiritual abode. Now, I'm not going to compare, you all are going to compare. Please tell me what is the comparison of the material and the spiritual abode. Hare Krishna, start. Chat is also there. If you want to type in the chat, please go ahead.
Material world is full of miseries. Spiritual world, there is no hunger, there is no anger.
I love that anger. Yes. Yes, Prabhu.
Material world is temporary, spiritual world is eternal.
Mataji, your voice is very low. Sorry, I couldn't hear you. Can you come back?
Material world is temporary, spiritual world is eternal.
Perfect. Material world is temporary, which means it's a subject to annihilation, right? It keeps going on, annihilation, and it goes on and on. But spiritual world, no such annihilations happen. It's permanent. What else?
Material world, there is always a fake love, and whereas the spiritual world, there is a pure love.
Very true. Lovely. Material world, what we call is love is lust. Right?
Yes.
He loves for a purpose. Even if someone says, I love my child, which is very natural. I read one of Prabhupada's lectures. He says that what's so great about loving a child, even a monkey loves a child. Right? Which is very true. So the point is, there is the love of the mother to a child is very true. But everything is around the selfish. I do everything for my child because I derive a satisfaction.
Yes.
Right? About me, it's an extended self. I buy a dress for me because I'm happy, and I buy a dress for my child because I am having happiness in buying the dress. The father buys food or chocolates or ice cream for the child because he is satisfied by that. He is more satisfied by buying it for his child. So there is his satisfaction. A military guy fights for his country because he has love for the country, right? So these are the things which keep us intact in the country, right? But, so let's see some more points you can chat.
Mataji,
Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
Mataji, material world is only I and we.
Yeah, that's a lovely realization. Material world is only I, right? So the entire Bhagavad Gita, initially, the first chapter, we felt Arjuna was so compassionate. But what was he compassionate about? He was compassionate about I. And why did we not realize it in the first chapter?
And Dhritarashtra also used the word I.
Prabhu?
Dhritarashtra also used that.
Dhritarashtra is very selfish.
Selfish.
Dhritarashtra is beyond materialistic level. He is very asuric also. So Dhritarashtra is I, that's fine. Arjuna had a very compassionate view, but it was more around him. And when we read Bhagavad Gita, why do you need a guru? We definitely need a guru because Guru Shastra, it becomes very important. Only when you have Guru will tell you what is the mistake. He can point out. Otherwise, we will just take it in the convenience. Why? We can also read correctly, but unfortunately, we are very contaminated, right? So when you say, wow, it's so nice. And I always took this example of my mom. According to her, her definition of materialist is jewelry. I can sacrifice, and she's an awesome person. She's never gone alone without us ever in life, right? So according to her and according to all of us, we felt, oh, wow, great. True. But if you read Bhagavad Gita, materialistic does not mean only jewelry and your things. Materialist also means your dress, your thing, which also means your dress. When I'm referring to is not just your physical dress which you're wearing, but your bodily dresses, right? And your children, they are also dresses. So those things, because they should see them as children, child of God, right? Yes, you should take care of the child. It's a duty of every grahastha and every mother. But the fact is, getting obsessed, telling, oh my God, this is my child and nothing can happen, is very similar to Bharat Maharaj going to the forest and picking up a small deer and saying, oh my God, I am the savior of this deer and Krishna does not know to take care. I can only take care. No, you must take care as a duty. Then don't get obsessed and don't stick to that, You have to be committed. You have to do your duty. But then getting too attached and making every term. When I do youth class and, many times, and we also do that. No, I don't have this dress, so I'm buying this is fine. But then, I have not studied this. I wanted to do, I could not do, you do. I wanted to learn music. I could not do, you do. That talks very selfish about us, right? It's an extended self. Maybe I wanted to be a doctor. I could not become a doctor. I want you to become a doctor. Some broad things are okay. I wanted to study. I didn't have money in my mouth. So I'm going to spend the money on you is very nice, right? But then if you want to specifically drive your dreams, then it is not love. It is that is also going to lust, materialistic. So beyond this, you all told, right? Beyond this ocean of birth and death is this material creation. Prabhu 8.17, Hare Krishna.
By human calculations, 1,000 ages takes taken together from the duration of Brahma's one day. And such also is the duration of his night. Hare Krishna.
Yes, Hare Krishna. So 1,000 ages. So lifetime of Brahma is 311 trillion years, right? So that's the lifetime of Brahma. So he's talking about the day. And what is this day? All 4 yugas put together is called one Divya Yuga, right? And 71 Divya Yugas represent one day of Brahma. And that is what he's talking about. 1,000 ages put together constitute Brahma, going back to the Brahma chart, which we saw in the 4th chapter. So at the beginning of the Brahma's day, all living entities become manifest. And from the manifest state, and therefore when the night falls, they get merged. So now we have to go a little bit of concept understanding. So I'm removing this. So there are 3 types of annihilation. One, there are many, but then broadly 3 types. So broad, specific to this. So what is that annihilation? One is the death of the body, right? When we are alive, and obviously naturally the body dies, the physical body dies, the soul does not have death. So typically, let's assume currently in Kali Yuga, it's 100 years, right? And a piece of extended information, the previous Yuga, the Dwapara Yuga, does anyone know what is the age, death, or what is it, age expectancy of the person?
100 years.
That is Kali Yuga.
1,000 years.
Thank you so much, Mataji. 1,000. Treta Yuga.
10,000.
Excellent. Satya Yuga.
1 more 0, 1 lakh.
1 lakh. Very true. Very nicely said. So happy. So that is the age expectancy, right? So let's come back to Kali Yuga. So this, why I told us the age, as per the specific yugas, that's a death, right? Whatever you call natural death, accident death. So all that death comes under one category. The next is Brahma. We just saw during the day of Brahma, similarly night, right? So during the day of Brahma, Brahma will rule. Night, what will he do? He has to sleep. So when he sleeps, there is one annihilation which happens, right, on the sleep mode of Brahma, which means that all the planetary systems, we have 14 planetary systems, leave the top 3, except the 3, bottom, all of them. Why top 3? Because Brahma is there. He cannot annihilate his own planet, right? So his top 3 planets are there. These are below spiritual world. I'm not talking about spiritual about, they are permanent. So these planets go under hibernation, which means they are annihilated, right? So every time he is born and he is dead, he is called, this annihilation happens. This is second category. The third category is during the lifetime of Brahma. We saw 311 trillion years. So when Brahma is dead, or if he is, promoted to supreme abode. So in either cases, so what happens after the lifetime of Brahma, which means that Brahma is also not eternal, right? So he also has mortality. All the planets from the lower planet to the higher planet actually goes completely dead. So what happens? All of them go into the stomach of Vishnu. You can see him behind, and they are in hibernation. So the first annihilation happens for few weeks, and this one happens for months together, and it gets recreated when Brahma takes birth again. So this is what it is, right? So these are like turns which keeps coming. So these are the 3 broad categories. So we will go to the slide. Kalpa is called the birth, and Pralaya is called the death, finish, Pralayam, right? And Mahakalpa is, so birth and death means every time Kalpa, Pralaya will happen. That was during the day. And life is called Mahakalpa, first time birth, last time death is called Maha. So Prabhu, you can read 8.19, Hare Krishna.
Again and again, when Brahma's day arrives, all living entities come into being. And with this arrival of Brahma's night, they are helplessly annihilated. Hare Krishna.
And all those who are very Krishna conscious at every stage directly go to Goloka Vrindavan. So that becomes very important point. Now you may think that, okay, if he gets annihilated, he's dead. Then how will he remember? Let's say that all of us are going on a holiday, right? We are all going on Tirtha Yatra, and I've said this example also. So I'm telling you all of you all sleep, but get up at 4 o'clock, right? Sharp, we are leaving at 4. So please get up at 3 o'clock, set your alarm. We are going for Mangalacharan, right? We're going to the temple. So the first thing that alarm rings at 3 o'clock in the morning, what will you remember? Or first 2-3 minutes, as soon as you get up, what comes to your head? What will come to your head? Hare Krishna. It's your personal experience. You can tell anything. What will... Huh?
Why did I wake up so early is what I think.
Already 3.
Yeah.
Then it comes now, we have to go to the temple as the...
Wow, very honest. Yeah. You'll tell, go to the temple. So, any other views?
Whether to stay awake or to sleep.
Sorry, Prabhu?
Whether to stay awake or sleep.
Okay. Whether to stay away or sleep. Next. Anybody else?
Where am I?
Yeah, we've come and woken you. Where am I is one thing. You're so confused, but then we are waking you and you're up now. So what comes to your head?
Get ready, go to the temple.
Appa, finally, thank you. Get ready, go to the temple. Yes. So the same thing I will tell you. All these friends have decided that they go for a movie at 3 p.m. All your kids. Okay. They all assembled and they've decided. And they've told Mama and Papa, wake me at 1 o'clock because I have to get ready for the movie. Right. And you forget and wake them at 2 o'clock. What is the first thing they'll do? They'll yell at you, that part. But then what comes to their head first? What comes to their mind?
Get ready as soon as possible so that...
Yes.
All the fun.
A lot of fun. Yes. Thank you so much. So why am I saying this is all of you all have a goal to go to the temple in the morning. And that's why you've gone to a Tirtha Yatra. But can you see among you all within your head, how many contra thoughts come? Within the same person, between the person you live, within the same person, right? So these are the gunas. So one guna is telling, now get up and run. Another guna is telling, come, let's sleep for a while, which is mode of ignorance, is pulling. And mode of passion is telling, hey, my God, what should I do? Right? So that mood of confusion, right? Should I do this or should I do that? Why am I saying this is because the three modes constantly fight. It's not that you are in a mode of goodness. Okay, I'm branded. I am, in the mode of goodness, nothing will happen. No. You will get depromoted anytime to a lower mode because modes are constantly fighting for supremacy, which we are going to see in the third module. But now coming back to this is different views. Now, if you take your children, you yourself have agreed that they are very excited, they want to run, which means that the moment they open the eye, all of you, irrespective of what you are thinking, you remember that you have to go to a particular task. For them, movie, for youth, going to the temple, you've not forgotten. Why am I saying this is everybody will come. Or at least it set me thinking, okay, I'm getting annihilated. That means I become pure. When I reopen, then why am I opening with the material body? Because when I reopen, my desires are not gone. My subtle body is still there. Only my gross body is gone. It is covering the soul. The moment I wake, like how you tell, I need more sleep. I need, to go to the temple. Why did I even get up? Should I even sleep? What should I do? I should run to the temple. Oh, movie. Okay, I have to go to the movie. I have to capture this. Oh, my girlfriend will come. My boyfriend will come at that age. Okay, wow, it's a lot of fun. All that will come. Right now, for for Sham Prabhu, first thing, oh my God, I have to protect this universe and I have come here and sleeping. Let me run back and go back to my earth. That will be his thought. Okay, for us, oh, I want to enjoy. Oh my God, it's so boring. I want to sleep. All this will come. Why? So based on that and based on your karma, you get your body. And for someone, oh my God, I left my child. Where is my child? Okay, fine. Whatever is the body, you want to go back to the family. Ta-da! You have enough credits, you become the grandchild of the family. So many families, when they say the grandmother is reborn as a grandchild, it's not a wrong belief. It could be true to a large extent. But also the person can be a grandmother or it can be a cat or a lizard. So every time I keep, making a mockery at my mom that we have a cat. And this cat, when the cat was 2 months old, we were staying in an apartment which was in the 9th floor. Every day, every single day, it used to take a lift and come up. Every single day. We were so shocked because and how does it climb the lift? It will enter and it will wait for some person to press the 9. And correctly at 9, it will come and stand near the door for us to make the open. And that time I used to keep the door a little open by 6 o'clock or so because I get up at 4. So by 6, it's an apartment, so we can open it. And correctly it will wait and then it will enter. And not just one day, it was like every single day. Does it come home and ask for milk, food? No. It will just come, stay. And after that, we will have to go and let go. So this was going on and on and on. And we didn't know what to do. And we were getting worried, my God, if this cat gets trapped, you start thinking, and then we feel guilty and all that. So after all this drama, one day we decided we will adopt this cat, and we just adopted the cat. Right. So this is how the story of the first cat came. And also the cat had orange, Trishnam kind of a stuff. So now, the cat is very different cat. And why am I talking about the cat is I'm just going to relate this. Now, this particular cat, if you tell Bhagavad Gita sloka, it's perfectly fine. But if you sing a pop music or something, it gets very wild. It will scare, it will tell that I'm going to bite you. It doesn't bite, but then it really goes on. It's almost 10 months old now. And it gives us all kind of scares, everything, 9-10 months old. So it does, right? And so by seeing that cat, everybody now says, oh, so it's got very much related to us because it's so cautious. If you climb a stool or a chair, also it used to be very cautious. It will come and, hold the stool. For all it knows that it can do nothing. But then psychologically, it will come and hold as if it's trying to protect us. So why are we saying is this is a characteristic which is not very common in a cat. But when we see this, very different. So immediately I keep telling, don't know, maybe it's a family, it's in our family blood. Everybody says, who it could be? Everybody says, stop, don't tell. I never had anyone in mind though. But the very feeling of me trying to tell, they were thinking, okay, I'm going to link someone, is she going to talk about my mom or grandmom? But the fact of it is, while I'm not quoting any relationship, but these are things which happen. And why am I talking about a cat? If you have enough punya, you may be born into a family as a person. But if the credits are not enough, maybe your wish of being in the family is fulfilled. But it can be a cat, or it can be a lizard, or it can be a cockroach in the same house. Which is why it is important that you don't think of taking credits or this. You just think of giving everything, akarma, right? No need for credits, no need bad sins. Give everything to Krishna and go to his abode, right? Hare Krishna, are you all awake or you all slept?
Yes, Mataji. Yeah.
Still awake.
Thank you so
Here,
much.
Mataji.
Still awake.
Cycle of
interesting story.
Okay, I'm so glad that the story is interesting because I saw pin drop silence. And in school, when they say pin drop silence, my understanding is, okay, we're all in trance of sleep. I'm glad. Thank you. Hare Krishna. So now going to Brahma day, right? We saw at the beginning of Brahma, what I explained is happening. And at the night of Brahma, they are merged into unmanifested again. What is manifested? What is the meaning of manifested?
Manifestation means giving birth to the
Creation.
creation.
Everything is manifested. Whatever you can see, manifested. This is manifested. Whatever I can see becomes manifested. What I can't see is unmanifested. Right? It is going to come, maybe, but I don't see it. So that is in the unmanifested stage. Example, child is born, it's manifested. But when the child is not even created, right? You go and do a pregnancy test and it's confirmed. But then a week before also the child is already there, right? It's not yet manifested to you, but it is still existing. Hare Krishna. 8.20 Hare Krishna. Aras tasmatu bhavonyo vyakto vyakta sanatana yaha sa sarveshu bhuteshu nasyat suna vinashyati. Hare Krishna.
Yet there is another nature which is eternal and is transcendental to this manifested and unmanifested matter. It is supreme and is never annihilated. When all in this world is annihilated, that part remains as it is. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So we all decided that we are not going to be here in the material world. So we are going to Goloka Vrindavan. So this is not applicable to us. Only 8.20 is applicable to us. Because once we go to Goloka Vrindavan, this annihilation, doesn't happen. It's like bail, right? When you're taken a bail, what happens? Every day you go to the police station and sign, right? This is like the night of Brahma. You go back to the police station, sign. So that's the work. But if you're talking about, you still make another mistake, what will happen? They'll again take you and put you back in the jail. So this is what is going on. Annihilation, on and on and on and on. No. Let's not do this. Let's forget it. Now, who is witnessing the annihilation of the day of Brahma? It is witnessed by the top 3 planets. They can see. They are alive. So they keep, it's annihilated by water. So they keep raising to the higher planets. So they are the witness. And so what will happen? When the entire annihilation happens, we will not be there. We will be in spiritual world, right? Yes or no?
Yes.
I already showed you the flight which will take us also. Hare Krishna. Yeah. And we are hoping, Prabhu, you will also join us by the end of the 18th chapter. So we'll wait for that.
Sure, Mataji.
Sure. 8.21, Hare Krishna, Prabhu, you can please read. And Mataji, some Mataji wanted to read, and I thought she wanted to read, so she raised the hand. So anytime you want, our Sham Prabhu is very generous. He will give the floor to you. But you read. Yes, Prabhu, go ahead and read. Hare Krishna.
Shall I read this or Mataji will
Yeah,
read?
please read. If the Mataji wants, she'll raise her head or she will unmute, hand her.
That which the Vedantists described as unmanifest and infallible, that which is known as the supreme destination, that place from which, having attained it, one never returns, that is my supreme abode. Hare Krishna.
He says very clearly, one never comes back. Param Brahma Param Dhamma Pavitram Paramam Bhavan Purusham Shashvatam Divyam Adidevam Ajam Vibhum. Hare Krishna. This one is the prayer which Arjuna offers to Krishna in the 10th chapter. And what does he say? Param Brahma. Okay, you're the Param. Param Dhamma, which means that the Dham which you have is the Param, is the most superior one. And this is made of what Shakti? What Shakti is the supreme abode made of? What energy? When I ask, it's not that I doubt, it's just that I can't hear.
Parashakti.
Parashakti.
Thank you so much. Parashakti. It is also called. What is the other name for Parashakti?
Spiritual.
External.
Sorry?
External.
Internal, Mataji.
Internal. Okay.
Supreme abode is internal. Our material abode is external. But
External. Okay.
right, thank you. And one more Sanskrit term.
Para.
Para is Sanskrit. One more Sanskrit. Antaranga Shakti. Right? So Antaranga Shakti, superior energy. And why am I telling? All these will come in the context. And you should not think, oh my God, new name. No, it's all the same content with different packaging. Right? I would like to improve on your we will all learn the journey of improving our dictionary, right? So that's what we're doing. 8.22.
The Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is greater than all, is attainable by unalloyed devotion. Although he is present in his abode, he is all pervading and everything is situated within him. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is greater than all, right? The Supreme Personality is extremely great. Why is he very great? We all know, because he can be attained only through unalloyed devotion. We all know he's Param Brahman. That's why I gave that prayer, because he's Param Brahma. And he can be attained easily, right? So Krishna gives everything, including Mukti. But what he does not give is Prema Bhakti, because there he gets purchased. Can you see what all he did? He's the driver. And when I say driver, you'll tell, what's the big deal? I will also drive for my friend, right? Okay, agreed. But I remember mentioning this. So here in olden days, they wear pointed shoe, which has become the fashion now. That's different. But the Rajas used to wear pointed shoe. Anybody knows why? I remember telling this sometime back in a conversation, but what I don't recall is which group I told. Do you know why they have pointed slippers, even in the chariot? Because the fact is, where is this? Because I just want you all to remember this, because there is no Bluetooth. So they can't put it in the ear and they don't have wireless, right? So they use directions for legs. So in the chariot, if they have to urgently tell to shift a direction, and most of the time the chariot, the chariot read. So what happens is suddenly if there is a change of plan in the mind and they are not in sync, he will use the leg. He will go and he will not kick him, of course, but then he will use the leg, and because obviously everybody uses, the weapons, right? And it's so noisy, you can't even hear, right? Even in a movie theater, we really have to, shout or whisper deep into the ears of the person. So imagine in a warfield, how much ever you shout, nobody's going to hear. And therefore they use their leg, to change the direction. This shoulder, that shoulder, they'll pat twice and they will turn, right? So you can imagine the charioteer is not like that. Will your friend, or will you tolerate if your friend is going to just kick you and turn this side or right? Even if the friend is very busy in and work, doing the laptop. Anybody, I'm not ready. I will be very depressed or angry if my friend is going to kick me and tell me or touch me with the leg and say that turn left or right. Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Yes, Mataji.
Right.
We get angry.
Yeah. So this is the difference. So I'm not saying that Arjuna did that, but all I'm saying is Krishna was ready to go down to that extent, right? So it is not easy. And also to give another example, even if I go and wait for 5 minutes in a friend's house outside, and if she's not coming, trust me, I wouldn't like it. I will tell, hey, I told you I'm going to come at 10:30. Okay, current generation is they won't bother. They will go and put TV and sit and sleep. That's different. But if you're made to stand outside and there is no watchman says wait here and makes you wait for 5 minutes, it's going to really put us off, right? Whether we accept or not, it's going to bother us. We may react differently, but we can't say it's okay. My friend is having a nice tub bath. Let me be a watchdog. We can't do that. Now, Krishna is Dwarapalaka, for whom Maharaj. Externally, we see, oh my God, Vamana Avatar, he came. How bad Krishna used Bali and cheated him and put his leg on his head and destroyed him. But that's what we see. But Bali Maharaj has two promotions. One, he is going to be the next Indra. So that is given to him. And also he is in a separate loka he gave him. And he became the Dwarapalaka, watchman. So can you imagine what extent Krishna can go down, right? And if you remind me of a story, because today this chapter we'll finish early, there are only 28 verses. If you tell me about Pandava and Krishna, okay, and I will tell you a story, which I think most of you won't have heard. I'm trying, okay? So if you have heard, don't tell Mataji, what boring story, I know, don't tell me that. I'm disappointed I'll be. Hare Krishna. So now we are going back and seeing the qualities which you just spoke, right? Absolute nature. Krishna's abode is not different from him. Yeah. Is your house and you different? Yes or no?
No, Mataji.
No, because for me, my house is different and I'm different. I'm a person, if I go out of the house, I'm not there in the house. Can you be inside the house as well as outside simultaneously?
No.
So then your house is different from you, correct? By chance, touch wood, it should not happen. By chance, if the house is bombed, will you also go and jump inside the house and tell, I'll also die? There are some people who do that, but I'm just saying, would we be so foolish?
No.
No, Mataji.
We will mourn, we will be scared, we will be upset. And same way, if there is a thunderbolt and you have a hole in the house, you're not going to tell, oh, house and me are same, I'm going to cut my hand. Tada! You don't do that, right? We won't do that. I'm sure none of us do. So that is because we are different. And this material body, this is a material house. But the absolute Krishna's abode is going to be the same. Absolutely same. Both are same. There's no difference. That's why Krishna, when you say Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare, Krishna comes here. He's coming and sitting here because there is no difference between his name, form, and himself. So that's the difference. Eternal, it's permanent, right? We've seen it, and it's free from birth and death. Infallible. He's so superior, right? It's opposite to material energy. And we are going to see this as a reflection of the banyan tree in the third module. Unlimited bliss, right? Everybody is so beautiful there. Everybody is so beautiful there, and nobody is short of beauty. And they all are Nava Yavanam. They are so young. So Vishnu Tutas are so attractive. So you'll ask me, why would you run away from Vishnu? No, because they are so beautiful. Why would you want to run away? You know it's Vishnu's person because they look exactly like Vishnu. Fills all desire. Yeah, that is Amadenu, right? So Chintamani Prakarasadma Sukalpa Vriksha. Kalpa Vriksha is the desire tree. You sit down and ask, any desire is fulfilled. Laksha Miteshu Surabhi Abhipalayantam. Surabhi cows are there. They will give you milk permanently. And milk is not our adulterated, water mixed, preservative, powder mixed milk. All are attractive. They are so attractive. Unmanifested to the mundane eyes. We can't see because that's what it's an unmanifested. You can't see. It's because we can't see, you can't say it doesn't exist. I can't see air. So can anyone say there's no air around? I don't even see air. Or can someone here say that I can see air? Nobody, right? Anybody can see air around?
No, Mataji.
No.
Yeah. So can you say there is no air around us?
No.
So just because this is one very important statement of Satya Krishna Puran. See, if seeing is believing, then you please don't believe in air in the first place. Forget about God. Right? And now I am having the whole team here. I don't see any of you all. I only hear. Very few are keep the camera on. So if seeing is believing, then, sorry, just one second. Hare Krishna. If seeing is believing, then I should not be believing any one of you. I should be thinking I am talking to myself because there is no video, right? And sometimes you don't talk also. So that means I'm talking to the computer, but I don't feel that. right? Because not everything which I can't see is. So all of you are listening to me. All of you are sitting right there in your room, though far away, but you all are manifested. But to me, you're unmanifested because I can't see you, right? And just because you're unmanifested, I can't say you all don't exist, right? Transcendental, right? And supreme transcendental, obviously it is very spiritual and supreme destination and a place where you never return. And it is said in all the three, right? And it is said in not just here, in many chapters. Right now we are moving to section 6, 8.23228, which is the last session. The supremacy of devotion in attaining the supreme, right? So we are talking about what is the supremacy of devotion. Attaining the supreme is what is great, right? Why should we do? Attaining the supremacy, we saw through the process, right? Through mystic yoga, which is Mishra Bhakti, right? One half. Another one is Bhakti itself. So he is going to tell 2 parts, and we will go to the first part. Prayatayati tam kalam Vakshami Bharata Rishabha. Hare Krishna. Yes.
O best of Bharatas, I shall now explain to you the different times at which, passing away from this world, the yogi does not come back.
So there is a small declaration which I want to do before I take this portion of this chapter. This, please hear, because it's important. You may get in your test, in your assignments, but this is purely theoretical for us. We will not engage because we are not in this category, but these are for yogic mysteries and they are telling on what category you will fall in. Now, please go ahead.
Those who know the Supreme Brahman attain the Supreme by passing away from the world during the influence of the fiery god in the light, at an auspicious moment of the day, during the fortnight of waxing moon, or during the 6 months when the sun travels in the north.
It's called the Uttranam, right? So the fiery god is the sun. So what they are saying is Supreme Brahman means reaching Krishna, right? Reaching Brahma Jyoti or Supreme. So what are they talking about is these are yogis, mystic practices. How do they attain Krishna? Is they are going to attain by during the sun, right? When there is proper sun, middle of the day, 12 o'clock, right? And middle of the day, this is called the sun time, right? The 3 processes. And so you have during that time, in that auspicious moment, and this is talking about jnanis, right? So what happened during that auspicious moment, during the fortnight, right? During the waxing moon, when that happens, and during so typically the Paurnami time, and during the 6 months, right? So the 6 months, the first 6 months, which normally represents, the Jan to June time. And that is when the sun travels, right? So that time when they die, they will achieve the sun. So this is the first level of people who are in very exalted position. The next point, Prabhu, 8.24.
The mystic who passes away from this world during the smoke, the night, the fortnight of the waning moon, or the 6 months when the sun passes to the south, reaches the moon planet, but again comes back. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. The first person is a perfectionist. He doesn't come back. He sits there permanently. Now the reverse of this is somebody who, because light means he removes darkness, right? So that's the first category. Now 8.24 is someone who passes during the smoke. That means during night, right? And during the, not Amavasa, but the moon as it comes down. Sorry. And the next 6 months, which is typically the July to December, and the sun passes through and moon planet. So they reaches the moon planet. A moon planet is very exalted. It's not like we reach the moon. I will take one paradise moon. Moon planet, right? Shashi is what you call, gets a moon. And moon is also considered as one of the eye of Krishna. Not as it gets its power and light from sun, but still moon also is a very beautiful star, right? It's very powerful. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is considered as a moon and his devotees are called the stars, right? So that is the example given for the moon planet. So, but again, what happens? They come back again because they go to the moon, which means Swargaloka, and they enjoy, they relish heavenly pleasures. But Obviously, after that, what happens? They will come back to the material world. So they're talking about two categories of people. Now, ideally, I want you to rethink this, which I'll give a second after reading the 8.26. Ideally, we should have finished 8.26 and then come to 8.2 verses which we have read. Yes, Prabhu, please go ahead.
According to Vedic opinion, there are two ways of passing from this world. One in light and one in darkness. When one passes in light, he does not come back. But when one passes in darkness, he returns. Hare Krishna.
Right. So I wanted, this is like the summary chapter. So 8.24 and 25, which we just read, are subdivisions of this. So therefore, what happens for someone who passes in the light and what passes? And there is one more atheist category. You will come and ask me later. Mataji, you have not spoken about the atheists. He says, don't worry. I will come to the atheists. Atheists are, are the third category where they're complete darkness, right? Amavasya they call it. Complete Amavasya. So you all know the destination of atheists. We'll go to the dark, deep, hellish planet. So summary of this is given category-wise, right? I just gave you, when I was explaining the context, sorry, I'm coughing a lot. The context I have been explaining to you about the yogis so that I don't confuse you. So let's go first to yogis again. In yogis, when they pass in the light, what happened? They attain the Brahma Jyoti, right? Krishna, when I say Krishna's abode, I was telling. So Brahma Jyoti, attain the Brahma Jyoti. So let's talk about the karmis. If they die in darkness, right? This is a shloka 25. What happens to him? They obtain the heavenly abodes. This is considered, first one is sun, one is a moon. Devotee. So we are coming, where are we falling in? All of you.
Devotee.
Yeah, so let's be clear, because if you're thinking of karmis, like every time Shyam Prabhu has this doubt, what if I'm doing a duty? What happens? You go to the heaven and come back. That is why we are not interested in getting good credits also. Karma credits we don't want. Bad credits none of us want, but good credits also we don't want, because we will go to heaven and come back, right? Currently, we are in the karma kandis to devotee stage. So we have already moved from karma kandi to karma yogi, which means we are moved to a devotee stage, right? But perfection is what we are endeavoring. What do we do? Where do we go? Attain Krishna Rupa, right? And we will maintain relationship with him in one of the 5. What are the 5 rasas or relationships with Krishna?
Friend, parent, that's
Servitor,
Vasalya.
mother, and lover.
Thank you so much. So this is so beautiful, right? So, so this is what it is. So these are the relationships with which you maintain. So this is the excellent beauty of Krishna, right? Because we are going to maintain one of the relationships in the Goloka Vrindavan. So that becomes abode, and that's what we are looking for. So please, as devotees, don't, because when I discuss this chapter, the first thing which comes in everybody's mind is, okay, so if this is the case, then, I know my relative, my mom, my relative died here. I know it's painful to lose someone close to heart, but don't relate the yogis, because by you doing bhakti, even if they were not doing yoga, any form of bhakti, they are going to be escalated to the spiritual abode. You'll ask, how, Mataji? How will my grandmom do it? Yes, because Prahlad, when Hiranyakashipu was annihilated, was killed by Narsimhadev, Prahlad only asked one thing. He said, is there any way of moksha for my father? So sweet, right? And Krishna says, why only for your father? For 100 generations, this side, that side, I'll give. Of course, we are nowhere close to Prahlad. So we will also try. So at least some 3 generations, we can get liberation, right? So if you ask, Mataji, they are so bad, why should they get liberated? That's a different point. But if you feel that they can and they may not be eligible, then you still can try, right? So I keep telling my friend, so the right Pitru Puja is, we have to do Pitru Puja, that's a different string. But if you really want to repay to your 3 generations, your kids or your parents or your grandparents, the one thing which I always have felt is, the best way to repay is by following bhakti. Because even if they have not got bhakti, what we can do is we can give them the bhakti and we can get them into Goloka. Just imagine your entire good members of your family or your choice of members of the family are in Goloka Vrindavan, right? It sounds good. So for all those who feel that, my son or my daughter is not following bhakti, don't worry. They will all follow, because Krishna will have a plan and he will ensure it's going to happen. Not because he loves them, it's because he loves you, right? And he will do anything for your sake, right? He can tolerate anyone. You will tell, why don't you do that? Tell me how many of you all tolerate someone without liking. We have done a lot. We tolerate our boss for the love of money. We tolerate our relatives. How many of them, I'm going to ask this question to Prabhu. How many of them, Prabhu, how many of you all will like your wife's brother? Not everybody will like him. Yes or no? You may not answer because this may be recorded and your wife may see and you may be chopped. So I will assume that you don't want to say it. But how many of you all really like? You may not like, but still you'll tolerate. Yes? Because my wife will be happy. We'll tolerate. Sometimes we don't like the friends of our children. We just don't like them for some reason, right? Somewhere our deep inner gut will tell this person is a lousy person. But don't we tolerate? Yes or no?
Yes, a lot of people like that.
Oh, thank you so much, Mataji. So honest. So I don't like, and sometimes our relatives, oh my God, we will be thinking, why? Oh my God, oh my Krishna. Oh, that's the first thing which will come in our mind. But then we tolerate, right? So when we tolerate, so is Krishna. For our sake, he will tolerate the baggage which we have and which we ourselves find it difficult to tolerate. He will tolerate for our sake. So sweet of him, right? So no, he has to hear.
Yes.
Thank you. Hare Krishna. Remember, he's sitting here and he'll be thinking, why is these Matajis? Anyway, Prabhujis are very silent, but at least Mataji should tell yes, because if they don't, maybe they don't like me. Don't give that doubt to Krishna. So he's listening to us, right? Hare Krishna. 8.27. Yes, Mataji or Prabhu, please go ahead and read.
Very, very small, Mataji.
Small, I was just thinking, some Prabhu or Mataji help our...
Yes, Mataji, I
yes.
can read, Mataji.
Yes, thank you so much.
Hare Krishna. Although
Hare
the devotee know these two paths, O Arjuna, they are never bewildered. Therefore, be always fixed in devotion. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. He says, although the devotees know the two paths, right? They know both the paths. So the road taken and the road not taken, they know both, but they're not confused. Do we ever think, oh my God, I should plan what time I should know? We don't have to. Why? Because Krishna is there and Krishna is going to take care, right? So we don't care about that at all, right? So this is the story of Haridas Thakur, and I'm not going to tell this because all of you all know the story. So let's go to the next one, Hare Krishna. This is the last verse, right? Vedeshu yajneshu tapashu chaiva daneshu yat punya palam pradishtam atyeti tat sarvam idam viditva yogi param sthanam upaiti chadyam. Hare Krishna. Yes.
Hare Krishna. A
Yes,
person
Mataji.
who accepts the path of devotional service is not bereft of the results derived from studying the Vedas, performing austere sacrifices, giving charity, or pursuing philosophical and fruitive activities. At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. Hare Krishna.
So very beautifully they have explained, right? A person who accepts the path of devotion, right, is not really worried about whether he knows Vedas. Now, all of you will tell, I know Vedas so well. No, we don't know, because we don't even know 7 verses from Bhagavad Gita. Yes or no? 700 verses. Forget about, there are crores of verses, lakhs of verses in Vedas. How much do we know? We are the only Veda we are reading is Bhagavad Gita, right? That also we don't know the verses 700 by heart. So we can't call ourselves as we are studying the Vedas. We are trying to understand Vedas, right? Performing austere sacrifice. Mataji, you don't know, I do Graha Pravesam. I did a lot of samskar when my child is born, right? No. Those are not austerities, right? There are more. Charity. You don't believe me. Charity I do every month. I have adopted one child and I give so much money to the child. It goes, I have the picture of the child also in the house. Is that charity? No. So what Rupa Goswami has stated in Nectar of Devotion is, he says charity means 50% you give for devotional service. Of the balance 50% which we have, 25% you give to relatives. And the balance 25% you can give. Can we even do this? Forget about when we are alive after death. Will we write a will that 50% goes to whatever, to Krishna? No. And
No.
50%, no, correct? So let's be honest, right? We won't. So we can't call ourselves very charitable. Agree? I mean, our definition of charity is, oh my God, I have leftover food. I didn't put it in the dustbin, nor did I put it in the fridge and give it to my husband. I gave it to the watchman. That is charity according to us.
Yes, Mataji.
That is charity. But that is leftover, right? That is leftover, right? So, and this is what happens. And I just realized, a very comic. So I have this challenge in Tamil. I speak Telugu. So I have this slang, right? My Tamil can be really bad. So I don't know how many of you all understand Tamil here. Does anyone know Tamil?
Yes, I'm in the same category.
Yes,
Telugu,
Mataji.
settled in
Ah.
Chennai.
Yeah. No, I need someone who knows
Yes,
Tamil
Mataji.
really well.
Yes, I know.
Mataji, we
Acha,
are
okay.
Tamil Mataji.
Yeah, thank you so much. See, now I speak reasonably decent Tamil, and that's what I think. But I've always felt I speak a very good Tamil. That's my perception. But others don't feel. So coming to this, so there was one time when we were in office and we were working late. So we had ordered food in the office, and we were eating, and my boss just passed, and we were all sitting and eating. And I just wanted to tell him what I wanted to tell him. I'll tell you. I wanted to tell him there is a lot of food. You don't have to worry. You can also come and grab. Right? So I told instead the same thing. I actually told them, by address, we address by name. So I said, hey, you can, நீங்க வந்து சாப்பிடலாம், நிறைய மிச்சம் மீதி இருக்கு. Yeah. So she's going to do the translation for my Tamil. Mataji, I hope you understood. Can you translate?
Yeah, what you said was you can also come and have. We have leftovers.
Yes. I mean, I didn't mean it.
Yeah.
Some of them told me, hey, that was a real shock. I said, no shock. I wouldn't tell like that even to my enemy, because, and that time I understood a realization, right? If this is such an accusive statement, okay, I mean, if it's so offending, it is offending, no doubt. But then we've never realized, right? Whenever leftover is that, give it to the watchman, give it to this. We still do. I still do, because whenever I go, when there is food left over, I try and give it to someone. But the fact is, this is not charity. Okay, maybe you can call it as, you're thinking a little better than others, but then it is definitely not charity. And someone told me, hey, you're so charitable. I said, what? Giving leftover? No. Before you eat, what you give is charity, right? That is charity. And don't tell me, Mataji, when the guests come, or when my family member comes, and some of them say, hey, when my husband comes also, I give him first food. That is not charity. That is family sharing, right? The problem is our definition of charity is become far and wide, very different, right? So this is what it is. And I still don't remember. For a second, my boss was looking pale and white, and I didn't understand why is he looking so pale until someone translated. I said, oh my God, I told him, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean it. He said, no, I knew you didn't mean it. Thankfully, he understood, or maybe he didn't have a choice. He had to go with the flow, because that was more decent for him rather than you told this, right? Happens. So this is what happened. And why am I saying this is so? Definitely we're not the category of charity or pursuing philosophical, where 8th chapter itself, we are scratching our head. Yes or not? So if any of you all tell that you're jnanis here, and not me. Any of you in this category claim yourself as jnani?
No, still we are learning.
We are still learning, right? We are still learning. So we definitely not philosophical. And fruitive activities, right? And we say, okay, I will give up everything. Even great people, we had Arun Prabhu and Sham Prabhu, who told me, yes, I am going to follow Ashtanga Yoga. But after we did the 6th chapter, told Mataji, your definition of Ashtanga Yoga is different from my perception of Ashtanga Yoga. I am backing off. I think Arun Prabhu backed off in the 3rd verse, and Mohandas Prabhu backed off in the 18th verse. I still remember that, right? So we just backed off. Why? Because, oh my God, we can't give up fruitive activities. We conclude, right? At the end, he reaches the supreme abode. We don't have to do. Can you see? So nice, Krishna, right? So their yogis say, neti. I will not see. It's like the monkeys. It reminds me of the monkeys. Do you remember? Eyes closed, ears closed, mouth closed.
Yes, Mataji.
That is the concept they follow. If you see, I say, no, I will not see. My God, it's difficult. Yes, I will not hear. Don't talk anything. My God, I'll get spoiled. Oh, I will not speak. That's a concept, right? Very difficult. We call ourselves a monkey head. Why? Because monkey head keeps changing every shanam, right? Sanchalam keeps on changing.
It is like a mind.
Exactly. Mind is monkey only. That's why we call monkey mind in English, right?
Not only monkey, madam, Mataji, it is drunken monkey and bitten by scorpion.
My God, that is such a lovely call. Thank you so much. So see, it's like a drunken monkey and bitten by scorpion, keep jumping up and down, right? So fast. So that's the situation. So what is the option we have? The only option is to surrender to Krishna through so we enjoy everything. Oh, Krishna, I like to see the beauty of you. And I think when I see the sky, the color of blue, many of them talk, and I'm sure some of you all have the physics. So I'm showing this because I have the visuals, blue color of the sky. Many say it's due to prismatic, the prism and exploration of colors and combination, blah, blah, blah. I'm not getting into physics now. And this is what they say. But there is also a devotee. How does he say? Oh, wow, this color of blue is the reflection of Krishna. His Brahman effulgence is so bright and it is reflected to the sky. And that is why sky came blue. And there is another devotee who says, yes, so whenever I see the sky, I think of Krishna. I'm sure that as I am talking, all of you are peeping out at the window and seeing the color of the sky. Yes or no?
Yes, Mataji.
Yes. So this is a realization for fights. Why do you think? Because we can't get prema bhakti. We have to consciously try. So Krishna is very clearly telling in the 10th chapter that every time you see the sun, you think of me as the eyes. When you see the the moon, you think Surya, Shashi, and thank you, Prabhu, for the heads up. And the sky, blue color, you think of my body, right? I mean, you see the mountains and very huge building, right? Wow, such a big building. It's the bones of Krishna. When you see lovely plantation, greenery, right? These are the hair of Krishna. So that's what he says, right? That's how you relate. And Ananya, poor Ananya has school and she has exam and she's going to 10th standard and she's doing this and she's wanting you to fill. Please fill. Otherwise, she will talk and tell Mataji, out of so many people, only so many filled, and she'll be very upset. So let's not upset a small mini devotee here who sang lovely kirtans for us. Thank you, Ananya Mataji. Hare Krishna. Yeah. So any doubts you have, you can ask. Otherwise, I'm going to tell you a Krishna story.
Yes, story, Mataji.
Story? Okay, I'll just tell the prayer. Pancha kalpa darubhyasya kripa sindhubhya evacha patitana pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare Krishna. So, we know the story of Ramayanam where Sita, 1 second, I will record, I'll try recording. Hare Krishna. So we have, all of us have, I'm going to tell the story of what? The Pandavas in exile. Pandavas along with, whom did Pandavas go on exile with?
Sita.
What, Prabhu?
Ramayana.
Krishna will have heart attack, Prabhu. Yeah, with Draupadi.
Draupadi, yes.
Right, yeah. So Pandavas are going exile. All of them go on exile. So Krishna, you know that Krishna does not physically accompany, but he's there all the time, right? So there is this situation where the Pandavas are there, and as Sita loved the deer, Draupadi loved a mango, a fruit, very tasty fruit, and the fruit is situated pretty far, pretty high, and they are trying. Obviously, for everyone, it's just going to be very easy to take the will, but then they have promised that they will not take the bow or the arrow. Now you may tell, you go and climb the tree. Now, yes, that's all are possible, but the tree is very high and she asks for a mango, and everybody tries, everybody puts their effort of trying to do it, and they want the simplest way, right? You wouldn't want to waste 2 hours because they have other things to do. So as usual, what Arjuna says, hey, it's easy. So what we can do is there is a lot of rope. There's a lot of rope which is here, and can we take the rope and, we can find a lot of ropes, the rope kind of things which are there, and, I can, try and get it out. So the brothers also help, and all of them are involved. So I don't want to give all good and bad to Arjuna. And they bring the fruit down and they pull and give it to Draupadi, and Draupadi is very happy eating the fruit. And then they just realize some roaring noise, like murga, and so much anger and traumatic thing, and they're wondering what happened. And later they realize that they have not just pulled, it's not a rope which they pulled. Okay, and I'm shifting the story. We saw the Brahma's age, and that's why I brought the story. Brahma is not the longest person in the world. There is one Rishi. You're going to tell me the name of the Rishi. I'm not going to tell. Starts with name R. This Rishi has hair which is so long. Okay, and his death will be, he will be alive as long as the hairs are present in his head. And every day one hair falls. So you can calculate the age of his. I'm not getting into the max. Now, his hair is so long and grown, and that is what they pull. And this Rishi is so angry, so upset, and he takes a sapada. He says that I want to kill these guys, whoever did, guys, girls, whoever, I am going to kill them. I am going to finish them, right? The moment they will become baspa, I will see them and I will curse them. Okay, he's telling I'm going to curse them after I see them. So he's not taken the curse, but he's keeping the curse ready. Tabal, they know what they have to do. Oh my God, they are on a shock. And the first thing any devotee thinks of is
Krishna.
Yes, and Krishna arrives before even devotee thinks. So he's there. He's telling, what did you guys do? Of all the things, you have so much of talent. Even with meditation, you could have brought. So immediately the Pandavas say, yes, we can, but we thought, why waste meditation? Physically, one thing is there. We also do that, right? What is the easy way of doing? If there is a clip or something has fallen, we'll just use the hand. Right? some clip. We don't go and take the clipper, come and take and all that, right? So it happens even when ladies cook. If it's not very hot, ideal way is to use a cloth to take, or you use that whatever you call, what do you call that kitki in English? I don't know. You know, to shift. But if it's slightly warm, you know, you use your hand, which is not the right way of using, but still we do. Likewise, you know, these guys use the easy way. So Krishna says, come follow me, you know, and I have one condition. And promise me whatever I ask you all will do. And he says, Yudhishthira, you promise, and I want each Pandava to promise. And Yudhishthira, you should promise. Yudhishthira is telling what, Krishna? You know very well that none of us will cross a line. Why do you even ask? We will do. He says, no. Promise me, each one of you, whatever I ask, you should not even think. You should immediately execute. You should just do. Without thinking, without debating, you will just do what I ask. Right? All of them are confused, right? Isn't this weird? Krishna asking such a promise? Yes or no? To Pandavas, of course, he can ask us. Are you there? Okay. So, isn't it weird? Krishna telling that whatever I ask, you all should do. To Pandavas, to ask, yes, yes.
Yeah.
Pandavas are very confused, but they say, yes, Krishna, you don't have to ask, but still, since you ask, we'll promise you, whatever you ask, whatever you say, we will just follow. He says, first rule, follow me wherever I'm going, but you should be, 10 meters away, right? Please, they follow. Okay, and here are my instructions clearly when I'm talking. And maintain 10 meters away till I call you. Okay, till then you should maintain. And Krishna is going into this Rishi. Anyone guess the name of the Rishi's name, please? So he is Rishi's hut. He is going and he enters, and the Rishi, basically cave, not even a hut. Rishi is so excited. Krishna, you have come to me. Oh my God, I am so blessed. Thank you so much. And he says, Rishi, I'm so good. I'm so happy to see you. Because Rishi can see. He says, hey, I want to tell you that, I'm so excited. Krishna says, Rishi, you seem to be a little disturbed. He says, yes, I'm disturbed because someone pulled my hair. I'm just keeping the curse ready. And, and he says, forget about me, Krishna. Tell me, why are you here? What is your reason for your presence to be here? There should be a specific reason. You tell about yourself. Krishna says, yes, I come here because I have come to meet some great people here. They are very big devotees, 24/7, they'll be thinking, I have come to meet them. And he says, not only that, and I also have some very great people, I'm seeking something from them. Very important, very exalted people. So Rishi gets very curious. Oh my God, Krishna has come for some very exalted people here in the forest. I don't even know who they are. And, I'm just looking for them and I just came for them. So Rishi says, I'm so lucky that you come for them, because in that luck, I've also caught a little luck, because in your search for them, you've come to me. Krishna smiles, okay? And he says, I can feel they are behind me. They're very close to me. And Rishi gets very curious. Oh my God, who are they? And when they enter at a distance, Krishna runs to them and says, please bless me, and he falls on the neck. Okay, and Yudhishthira's heart skips a beat. You know why? Because Yudhishthira at least is elder to bless. Everybody else, Arjuna, and especially Nakula and Sakha Deva are so small, right? And imagine, what can Yudhishthira tell? As a brother, it is not right? He should tell the brothers, hey, stop, you should be falling on there. Like, you can't be falling, right? He is now his dharma. And imagine what dharma. Now he's stuck between, we use this word in Tamil very often, dharma sangada. A situation where you're bewildered because of dharma. Which dharma is right? Swadharma or Sadatana dharma, Sanatana dharma. Both are dharmas. Which one should be taking precedence? I've always explained this. So he's so confused, right? What dharma should I follow? Should I follow the Sanatana dharma, which is Krishna's dharma, Paro dharma actually. Paro dharma is the highest dharma. Or should I follow the dharma of this cosmic world, which is written, right, by Krishna? He's very confused, right? Now, for us, it's very simple. We'll take one, so we don't break our head, but Dharma Raj, right? So he's telling, what should I follow? Hey, stop. Okay, I told you, my cat gets very curious when I talk about Krishna. He comes and hears, and she's also coming and hearing. So in case she jumps on my laptop, please bear with me. And she's trying. I'm sorry, I did, and yeah, so she's the one.
Sorry to interrupt, Mataji.
And can you see this tilak on the head? This is a tilak. Hey, 1 second. Tell hello. Billu, tell hello.
I want to miss
Hare Krishna. Tell Hare Krishna.
I miss that thing, like
tell Hare Krishna. Yes.
that.
Show your tilak. Okay.
No.
You can go back. Thank you.
That Mataji
Hare Krishna.
Krishna,
Sorry for
Krishna.
the disturbance. And okay, don't shake, please. Thank you. So now this Parodharma is what we are talking about, right? So Yudhishthira has promised and he's sticking to it very hard and he's just very broadly sticking to it. Now with all this Parodharma, excuse me, get down, thank you. So sorry. With all this Parodharma, Krishna, he has to follow. So he's following this. And immediately what happens is this Rishi, and since the name has not come, anyone knows the name? He's called Rishi, and he immediately thinks, oh my God, these people should be elevated. Such great people they will be, right? They are such great people. Otherwise, Krishna cannot be falling on their leg. And immediately Rishi says, oh my God, they are such great people. I'll also come. And who are they? He says, by the way, they are my Pancha Pandavas. He's shocked because he knew that Pancha Pandavas are those, who has done this, right? Pandavas. He says, okay, oh, so nice of you. And then now he's confused. Oh my God, how can I give the curse? Right? When Krishna has fallen, they are so exalted. So his mind, there is a shift, right? Paradigm shift. From keeping the curse, he shifted to, oh, okay, welcome to my ashram. Krishna was looking for you. You must be so exalted. I knew you were great, but if Krishna is literally falling on you, you all must be so great. And Yudhishthira understood how Krishna could literally fall on the feet. He became a charioteer, he became a watchman. He's now stooping down to falling on the leg also from younger people. First of all, falling on Yudhishthira's leg itself is an error which he did. He was rupayating into Yudhishthira after later. That's at a later stage when he took over Dwaraka, right? Because Yudhishthira was ruling the entire world, right? And this particular war, whatever we are talking about, and Dwaraka was a smaller portion which was reporting into Yudhishthira. He did all of that, but this is the ultimate, right? So this also he did. So Krishna is willing to do anything for the sake of bhakti, for his devotees. That is why he gives even mukti, but not bhakti. Because in bhakti, Krishna gets sold, literally sold. So that is the story. I hope you enjoyed the story. Hare Krishna.
Yes, I didn't get the name of the Rishi.
Let me unmute you all if you all are muted. Yeah. Muted everyone. Hare Krishna, everyone. One loud Hare Krishna.
Hare
Krishna, Mataji.
And the name of the Rishi is?
Why so silent? Can you hear me?
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, we can hear you.
Very clear and loud.
Hare Krishna.
We can hear you, Mataji.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. We can hear you, Mataji.
Roman Sham is Rishi. Can someone talk? Because I can't hear any of you all.
We can hear you, Mataji. We can hear.
Oh, acha, sorry. I think my cat is muted, you all. Okay. Hare Krishna. Oh, you can hear now. You can all tell Hare Krishna once. Sorry, I didn't record that. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Did you all enjoy the story?
Yes. Where is the name of the Rishi?
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Roman Rishi.
Roman Rishi. Okay.
Yeah, so he is a Rishi where his lifetime is longer than Brahma because his life is defined as the number of hairs in his head and each hair falls per day and as many hairs fall, that's his life. And such a Rishi has another extension of his stories. When his Shishyas say, we will do this, we will do that, he says, forget it, I don't have time for all this because he's sitting and they say that your house is not great, can we build a better house? He says, I don't have time, I'm running out of time, I have to pray Krishna. So can you imagine if he has no time, how much time we have, right? That's a typical cause. So thank you so much. Hare Krishna and Hare Krishna all. I will show you a small video and Prabhupada's video. Do you have, Prabhu, do you have any 5 minutes? Anyone get a 5-minute video?
5-minute video of Prabhupada? Let me check.
Before Prabhu plays that, I'm going to show you a video, a German video. So don't tell me that you don't understand because we won't understand German. But what is important here, which I want you all to understand, is that please read the subtitle and you will know. I'm going to play a particular video. Right? And just give me 1 second so that I don't want to leave the storyline. And this, so this. Hare Krishna. Prabhu, please stop recording because this can have a copyright issue, or pause recording. You can continue later. Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna. So it is Albert Einstein video which you saw, and very clearly he's speaking in German, and at a very young age, that boy will possibly be around 10ish. I can't really place, but he should be max 2 years, difference, right? Now this kid very beautifully explains, right? And I relished every bit of this video. And even now when I see, I feel so excited. Such a big guy he's become. And can you see at that age, he's able to explain, what is cold? Does cold exist? No, it's absence of heat. Does light exist? Darkness exist? No, it's absence of light. That is why Krishna always says, I'm going to light the deepam, right? He says that I'm going to, light Deepa Chakshashu. Every time he says, I'm going to give you the light of eyes, right? Why does he do all that? Because it means that we are ignorant, because we don't have that light, and Krishna is personally going to give that light, right? And this is what Albert Einstein has explained, and he says the same thing, right? So there's nothing called evil existing, but it is there in each one of us because we are giving less space for God, or we are not giving space. Today, Yuga is what is called Kali Yuga, and in the Satya Yuga, if you see, that demon existed in Padala Loka, Hiranyakashipu, and Krishna existed in his spiritual abode, Narasimhadev, in Vaikunta. He traveled to the material world to kill him. In the Treta Yuga, right, in what happened, Treta Yuga, Rama came. He was in one place, which in India, and Ravana was in Sri Lanka. It was in different countries. In Treta Yuga, when Krishna came, his uncle within the family was the demon, right, Asura. And for us, in the current Yuga, you know where the Asura is? It's in our own heart. Each one of us have a Duryodhana, we have a Kamsa, we have a Ravana in our own heart, and we hate them. So please allow Krishna to occupy this place, let him light the lamp and burn these Asuras straight away. This is told by Albert Einstein that time, and this we are telling now. So with this, I want to end the note. Hare Krishna, all of you. If you have any doubts, please go ahead and ask. Otherwise, we can end the session. I hope you enjoyed the session. And please do all your quizzes in time. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Any doubts? Otherwise, shall we end the session? Done? Shall we end the session? Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna, Mataji.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Mataji.
See you again Monday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.